Hi everyone, I am back yet again. We are going to work on our word number 6, which will go right in this space here. And that word happens to be piecing. And I'll lift it up here so that you can see. It's piecing. It's right here below applique. So we're going to work on that piece next. And of course, the first question is what color? So we picked that out already. And I think we're going to use this pink color here. So what I've been doing is kind of making sure that my colors are varied and kind of, not being glopped. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I'm trying to make sure that mine are kind of evenly distributed. So we're going to take and use our fusible right here. This is our freezer paper. I've got my fusible on the back. I'm going to fuse this together just like we have been doing, cut out my letters and put them on here. So I'll be back when I get ready to place these. Okay, as we get to this, we have to look where our lettering here for the piecing is going. So it's going at the bottom here of our applique word, right? So there's a line right at the bottom here that we're going to have the letters kind of go right through the middle of. So that's where we're going to put this. The letters, it's going to go right through the middle of my letters. And basically, the I is going to be right on the cross grid here, and the G is going to come right across the edge of this line right here. So right there, that's where the G is going to go. So we're going to fit that in here, and I'm going to move my mat down so that I can match it up, and I'm going to line those up so we can get ready to fuse. All right, one of my I's, it has to go right here on this line here, right in the middle there, and then the G has to go at the end right over here. So this is how we're going to do this. So for those of you who remember and old enough to remember playing with felt letters, this is kind of what this is like. So we're going to add just make sure you spell it right. So my E is going to go here. My C, make sure again your letters are flipped over right. C, I, that is an N, it's not a U. I'm going to smush these together here. If I have to move one over just a smidge, it won't matter. So long as everything looks like it's even. And as almost always happens, I lost a letter. Let me find my P. When all else fails, stand up, and sometimes things fall off your lap. So with that, we're going to put these letters down here. So we've got everything lined up. And again, I'll show you. Here we go. Whoops, got to move it so you guys can see it. There we go. And if all else fails, and you want to make sure that everything is kind of somewhat aligned, you can use a ruler, knowing that our P and our goes above and our G goes below. It's kind of an iffy thing. So with this, I'm going to get ready to fuse. Here we go. I'm committing to fusing. Okay, so we fused these down. Our next step is going to be stitch them in place. So of course, my stitching, I can't do anything the normal way. So I looked at some stitches here. Yep, I really do test them first. So I really liked this stitch, but it was a little too wide. So I adjusted the length so that it's going to be this stitch right here. So this one was too wide, but that one right there will be perfect. And I'm going to do it right through the middle. Now this stitch, when I did it, it aligns along the edge of my foot. So I've got to be really careful on how I place this in the center of my letters. So let's get there. All right, I'm getting ready to stitch here, and I'm going to stitch just like I would kind of write with this. So I'm going to come right here to the inside, and I remember I said it's going to align along the inside of my foot right here. So that's how I'm going to stitch this thing. So I'm going to put my needle down, and here we go. As you can see, it aligns pretty much with the center here, or pretty much with that edge. So I'm going to try and center between, if you guys can see it here, I'm going to try and align between the edge of my foot here and the center here. So my stitch goes between these two. So that's why I'm centering in the middle of my letter. Now, when I get ready to do my turn here, I'm going to have to be careful to make sure that when I do my turn, I'm always kind of turning to the left, so you want your needle to the left. Raise your foot. Turn your letter, or turn your quilt, and here we go again. And we're right in between. See this? Now the curves on these are going to be kind of the hardest, so you just kind of have to gently move it so that you stay constantly on it. Now you can pick any stitch you want. I'm going with this one, kind of liked it in the middle. Do I care that it's not all the way to my edges? No. Why did I narrow the stitch? Because doing a curve with a wider stitch can be harder, but go ahead and do whatever makes you happy. And then I'm going to make sure that I go over the other stitch. So here we go. I'll leave my tails up a little bit so that you can see. And there we go. The P is in place. So rather than do this around the edge, I'm going to do it in the center. So my piece might lift a little, but that's okay. I'm kind of cool with that. So here we go. I'm just going to keep moving along and we'll catch up in a minute. Okay, I have all of my stitching done, but boy, do I have a lot of threads to bury. So let me get these threads buried, but I really do like how some of this stitching turned out. You could use a different thread so that it would be darker for you, or, you know, contrast for you, but I just kind of like how it looks. Okay, so piecing is done now, and I am going to give you my last hint on this. And well, first I'm going to give you a suggestion, which is I'm going to use probably some beads or something here for the dots on my eyes. The other thing I'm going to tell you is that when you have these little pieces here, and this is your hint, you can put your machine in reverse for your stitches to catch these tails. So reverse for the tails.